Hello and welcome, you are watching a NewGenesisLegion video. I'm AstroGenesis and today I'm starting a Let's Play of Sid Meier's Civilization. Now, this game is pretty much like all the others, Civilization, following the same kind of combat and layout and really the customization as well. But I'm just going to be doing single player today, and before we get started I'm just going to run through like the basics on the menu, what you can do and the customizable things you can do before you even start the game, so let's get going. Now, what you can do here is you can go straight on the player now. You'll be chosen a random leader, typically continents, and the map size is small, chieftain difficulty, which is 1 just below easy I think, and standard gameplay. But today I'm going to be doing a setup game and show you guys the civilizations that you can beat. Now, I can't exactly remember how many civilizations there are. I think there's like 20 or something. Now I do have some DLCs in this, such as the Babylonians and the Mongolian DLCs and China DLC. But I'm not going to choose any civilization, I'm just going to stay at random for now. We've got different map types, continents rather self-explanatory. Pangaea, just a large landmass with a few off islands, it says there. Can't even begin to pronounce that. Archipelago, I think that's it. Just a bunch of little islands. Earth, again, self-explanatory. Map size is how big each landmass or individual landmass is, so I'm just going to go with standard. Difficulty, we've got 8 different difficulties and 8 is impossible. I'm just going to stick with 3 for now. The game pace is how quickly things are made. Like if something on a standard game pace would be made at say 6 turns, on quick game pace it could be made in 3 turns, or on marathon it could be made in 30 turns. I do not recommend first time players to go on marathon. Yes, it lengthens the game out, but like one era is going to last the length of one game. And it's quite a pain waiting like 100 turns just to build a wonder or something, but more of that later. Now you got the advanced setup here. This gives you like the layout of all the civilizations here. You can customize who you'll be versed, like if you want a certain civilization to be, I don't know, England, you can do that. It'll pop up there, teammate. But I'm just going to leave that random. You got your victory types here, all your other settings here, and like specific settings that you can choose. Now, city-states here. City-states are like little civilizations in the game. They don't go out for the win as such, but they're used mainly for like a diplomatic victory. Like, if you were going for a diplomacy victory, you would have to build a UN, and you would need votes to be the leader of the UN. Now, all these other civilizations, they will vote for themselves, and you can do that too, unless you want to be weird. And you need at least, I think, 6 votes in order to win the election. So you'll need about 5 or 6 city-states to do that. But they do tend to be quite demanding and annoying, so I'm just going to tone that down to 12. Now map size, I'll leave that as continents, type should I say, size, standard, yeah, difficulty, pace. Now all the different eras, basically what technologies you acquire during the game. Not entirely sure what the world age is for yet, but yeah. Temperatures, not really. Rainfall, they don't make much of a difference, and resources. Now, victory types, time basically, get to a certain year and whoever's got the most points wins. Science, you need to launch a space shuttle. Domination, you take over every other civilization's capital. Cultural, you have to, you get these things called policies, and you have to collect about like 6 policies, like get all of the policies within a section, and then that counts towards one called a Utopia project, and once you get that you win a cultural victory. And diplomatic I've already explained with the UN, and not really one to go for the diplomatic, and I'll take science off as well because that's a pain. I'll just leave them on. Now down here you have all your specific settings. Max turns, like a certain number of turns will be met and then the game's over. It's a bit like a time, only with turns instead. Don't really see why anyone would want that on. Policy saving, promotion saving, complete kills is something I like to have on. Basically, if you want to go for a domination victory, you have to completely wipe out the civilization, not just the capital, but all the other cities and all other units. You know, it's kind of like you're giving them a bit more of a chance to win. Start bias, I think I'll have that on as well. That basically, if civilization greatly benefits from, say, ocean tiles, they will spawn in a place where there's quite a lot of ocean tiles. By selecting the stable start bias, they will start in a completely random environment with, maybe they'll get spawned next to ocean tiles, but it's completely random. And random personalities. Random personalities, Napoleon's quite territorial, and he likes to go out and basically dominate as much as possible. But by selecting this, God knows what he'll do. He'll probably it might even be cultural or something. And there's other ones like Raging Barbarians, says yeah. When you get the game off, you've already got it and you're playing for the first time, you can just look through these yourself, it'll explain them all. But I think that'll do. Yep. So let's just get started.
Hail mighty Bismarck, first Chancellor of Germany and her Empire. Germany is an upstart nation, fashioned from the ruins of the Holy Roman Empire and finally unified in 1871, a little more than a century ago. The German people have proven themselves to be creative, industrious, and ferocious warriors. Despite enduring great catastrophe in the first half of the 20th century, Germany remains a worldwide economic, artistic, and technological leader. Great Prince of Bismarck, the German people look to you to lead them to greater days of glory. Their determination is strong, and they turn to you, their beloved Iron Chancellor, to guide them once more. Will you rule and conquer through blood and iron, or foster the Germanic arts and industry? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Okay, Germany. The Germans are quite a good civilization to start off as. I mean, they've got two unique units, and one of them can be used during the medieval era, and the one during the industrial era. So you kind of got like two eras of which you can dominate with these units. And they have like special abilities, each civilization has its own special abilities here, Fury 2, Tonics, Cuss, blah blah. Put the thing about burning a unit inside an encampment, there's a 50% chance you will earn 25 gold and they will join your side. Pay 25% less for land and unit maintenance. Something I forgot to mention earlier on is that you can totally edit like what your empire is called, like what your leader is called, not the name of your units in contrast, like Landschneid there. It'd still be called Landschneid, but it'd be called like a German Landschneid, but you could call it like whatever you want, like Elephant Landschneid if you want, or whatever. You know, you get the idea. But let's get started, eh? When you spawn, you want to be looking for areas that'll have resources like here, stone or ivory, whatever stuff you can use to bargain. Got silver and more stone. I'm next to a river, so that's going to give me more food. And the warriors are basically the first units in the game. They're pretty bad, and they're not very strong, but you know, at the beginning of the game they can be used as an explorer, or if you want to build loads of them, I suppose you can take over a city, but not recommended to go for a warrior, like loads and loads to take over a city. You might want to wait till like classical era before you start trying to take over. Now, I'm just going to explain some of these symbols. This apple symbol you see there just above choose production, that's food. Food is, you need that in order for your civilization, well, the cities within your civilization to grow. Up here, that one is science. Science is how much science you generate per turn goes towards your technology and how fast you will get that technology. This is gold. This is basically your money, and that there is how much you will generate per turn. Happiness. Happiness is kind of crucial to your civilization, you see. If you keep your civilization happy, there won't be any penalties, but if they're unhappy, like stuff will take twice as long to build or something. Here is your golden age mark. Currently I'm at 0 because I just started, but once I've generated about 500 points, I will start a golden age and I'll get benefits like my warriors will do more damage or whatever. It kind of varies, like Persia has extra benefits. They get more gold per turn, or their units could go further. And culture. That's how much culture you'll generate per turn. Once I've reached 20, I can get a new policy. Now, policies can be viewed here. When you start off, you can choose from 3 policies.